Hello crafty friends, Gloria Parra here. Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be working with the beautiful Simple Stories Autumn Breeze collection, and I am totally in love with this collection. I love all the warm colors, the patterns, the beautiful layers, and of course one of my favorites, the florals in it. And today I want to talk a little of how we start our layouts. Sometimes, facing that huge 12 by 12 canvas can be very intimidating, and we can start with a sketch or maybe focusing on one of the products, a chipboard piece, something that really caught your eye. But there's an unexpected way that I love using when I am trying to do something different. So that way, friends, is looking really, really closely to the collection. We have such awesome designers behind all of these brands. So, we really have to take advantage of those creative minds. And for this layout, I was looking really in detail through papers, through embellishments, and one piece, friends, caught my eye. And it was this huge die cut that has this beautiful wood open windows that look outside to those beautiful orange trees. I also saw that it had a little wood table at the bottom with the books and the teapots, and I thought that would be so cool to create my own windows that opened and revealed, my photos, that revealed the beautiful embellishments. So that's what I want to invite you today to do. As soon as you receive your collections, open them up, go through the die cuts, see what inspires you. If you grab this and, that postal thing grabbed your attention, you can create, little fall cards. I don't know, you gotta be open to experimenting and seeing your product with fresh new eyes. So that's what we are gonna do today, friends. We will create something really similar to this, but of course using all the beautiful products. So come along with me and let's start this beautiful window layout together. All right, friends, so I'm gonna keep my inspiration piece here close just to reference it while creating my layout. And I've decided to use this beautiful leaf paper as my background. I will also use this texture cardstock, this Color Vibe Warm White for my first layer. And I've cut this at 11 1/4 by 11 1/4. I love, that warm feeling of this. It's not white, it's more of a creamy color. So I also want to invite you, I'm sure many of you have this page templates by Simple Stories. I love them, and I love looking at my, at my tools in a different way. So I've created with this page templates so many things, friends. I've created little windows, houses, they are not just for photos, trust me. So try to look at your tools as something with more potential, and believe it or not, we will be creating our windows with these page template here. It's design number 7. And I already made a little cut here just to make sure my idea would work. So let me bring it in. I used some regular white cardstock. And look, friends, look how awesome that can work to create a little window. So let me show it to you here just so you can see. So you actually get, a bunch of them. You get 4 by 4. So I'm actually going to use only 3 to keep my window a little shorter, and I will teach you how to create them in a minute. If you don't have this template, friends, I'm gonna give you the measurement so you can just cut little squares from your cardstock, and that would work awesome as well. But if you have this page templates, I want to give you ideas on how to use them in a totally different way. So for my window, I was thinking of using one of these So we're gonna have this layer right on the top. And my windows, I think I would love to have them on this paper or on this one. Okay, so let's take this out and bring in our template. So just to give you an idea, if you've never seen this, you can use them just as what they are intended for, and it is to put like 2x2 photos inside and have that perfect, you know, the frame that's perfectly done, and then you would just take the template off and have the beautiful grid there. But as you can see, we can create windows, we can create a bunch of different things. You can use just one strip, a couple of them. You can just alter it and use it in a bunch of new ways. All right, friends, so we're going to start creating our window, and I will be using this pattern paper here with this plaid pattern, but trying to show you on this paper, it's going to be hard. So I'm just going to show you in a white piece of cardstock how to draw it and cut it, and then I will cut my pattern paper. So I'm going to use my mat here just to leave a 1/2 inch so I can do my scoring and have those windows open. Okay, so leave 1/2 inch. And let's start drawing. We will only use 3 squares up here. So that's the line where I will cut with my trimmer later. Okay, and we can draw, you can draw here so you know where to score. And then come in and draw the 6 windows. And we will use our sharp scissors to go in and open those windows up. Okay, so it's not hard at all. There, you see it? So we will continue this. You won't cut this piece because we will do a little scoring and have it open. We will do the same here. If you wish to leave a little extra, you can do that if you want to leave more than 1/2 inch. So maybe I'm going to try a little more. And we will do the same thing on this side to create my left window. Right, so let's bring in our trimmer and cut those windows. There we go. I will use my trimmer here just to score and create my flap. And this way we have our little window ready. Okay. So this window will open to the left like that, and the other to the right. Okay, you do the same for this one. Now bring in a sharp scissor and let's open up these pieces here. So actually, friends, I think I did something wrong. My window should actually, let me bring in this. Yeah, it should actually open from here. Yeah, like this. So we can cut this extra piece, you know? It is like that. I made a little mistake there. Okay, so where you drew your line, there is the place where you score. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, I did my window a couple of weeks ago and There we go. So you can cut that extra one or you can just leave it. It won't matter. Okay. Just make sure to fold it really hard. Now let's open up those windows up. Okay. You could use X-Acto knife if you prefer that. I just prefer my scissors. There you go. So I won't cut all of them because I don't want to have you here all day, but you get the idea, right? So there we go. And I'm gonna cut this one just so you see it without that big of a flap. So 1/4 of an inch is all you need to create the flap. Okay. And just open up all your windows and I'll come back when I have this ready. All right, friends, I am back with my windows and I must admit that this pattern wasn't the easiest one to cut. So if you can choose another one, maybe that's easier, but I love the pattern and I wanted that one. So I just made the effort to work with it. Now, friends, a must-have for this layout, I believe, is this 6x8 paper pad. I love that this pad has, you know, like this big tree that you can fussy cut and put behind the window. I also love that it has, of course, it has all the wonderful papers and patterns, but it has this house. I already cut one of the, it comes with 2 patterns of each. So I cut the house up and that would look great as well, just to try it out. And this tree was the winner for me. I loved it. So I am going to put this tree behind my window. Okay, so I'm gonna have that on the left. But look, you could put the house behind it. It would look awesome. I think I'm gonna fussy cut this trees to have a little more trees behind this one. But that would look beautiful as well. So yeah, it's a great paper pad with lots of potential. I'm gonna have this one here. This is the photo that I will be using. So it's one of me full of fall leaves and just a beautiful backdrop. We actually don't have fall here in Bolivia where I live. It's like hot and humid year round. So I have a couple of photos and I will use those whenever I get the chance. So I'm gonna back my photo with this 6x8 paper from the paper pad. I want to bring in that green as well. So let's create a little frame for it. I just eyeball these things, friends, but if you want to measure, it's like 1/4 of an inch that I usually do for my photo mats. And I print my photos with a white border. I like that look. So let's bring the layout back. And I'm gonna have that one here at the left. I actually want it flush to the window, I believe, because I want to be like peeking from behind the window, and the tree on this side. So this is the main idea. Let's see if it works. No, because you get an idea and sometimes it doesn't look that great. If not, I can bring it more to the left maybe, and I can be peeking on this side. So nothing is adhered yet. I'm just starting to create my layers. Oh, I also added a little machine stitching to my top layer here, paper layer. I like that it adds to that homemade feel, to that, you know, like, yeah, homemade feel. And okay, now I need to create my little shelf. And for that, friends, I am bringing in a paper pad that I'm sure many of you have. If you don't have it, it's not necessary. You know, you can just cut a piece of brown cardstock and that would be great. But I love that these Color Vibe Woods cardstock kit has a bunch of wood grains and just very useful patterns. So I love having that pack on hand. You get the most darker ones, you get a bunch of different colors. So I went ahead, friends, and I cut a piece of this wood here. I just went ahead and cut this strip, and I will have that beneath. And from the sticker sheet, the 12 by 12 sticker sheet, let me bring it in. We get this with a paper pad. We get this border here. I had two, so I cut that, and I want to bring it and create my little shelf, or this will be kind of a shelf, I believe, but we have that table, right? So I want to, you know, let me adhere it. It's gonna be easier to move things around if I adhere this. So I hope you see. And let me measure this so you can see how long it is. I believe it is 9 inches. Yes, 9 inches. And the scallop is a little less than 9. Go. So we have our little shelf there, and we can tuck that below our windows. See there, something like that. Mimicking this table down here. Now, friends, I want to create my embellishment cluster that's going to go on top of this. And this is going to be a little tricky because I want my windows to actually open. If you want to have them flat and adhere, that's great as well. But I want this to be able to open. So for that, I brought in this book piece that's actually a chipboard piece. And this little label here is part of the Ephemera. Let me look it up. I think, yeah, it's part of the Ephemera pack. So it is actually part of that one, of the inspiration piece. And it is down, it's here. So I'm gonna use that to start adhering my pieces. I have the little squirrel there, and this is gonna come up here, you know, like mimicking that book and the teapot. So there are actually books, friends, that you can use, but I want to concentrate mine in this little cluster here. I also brought in 2 leaves since I had a couple of them in this sticker sheet. I am bringing in some of those, and I'm gonna layer them behind this main piece here. Okay, so what we want to create is a big piece that you can then like bring in its entirety with the door that's gonna open. So you're gonna get it right now that I start creating it and showing you how to put it together. But friends, before getting excited and doing our little cluster, let's adhere our tree, our photo, and our windows. So I've gone ahead and adhered my shelf, and that's approximately at 8 3/4 from the top. Okay, so you can go ahead and adhere it if you are doing this layout along with me. And I will adhere my 4x6 photo that's framed at the same level as the shelf, the brown shelf at the bottom. My tree will also be there at the same level, and I think I'm gonna adhere it flat as well. Just there. And I want it peeking from above my window. And for this one, I'm gonna bring in, you can put red tape, or you can use a little adhesive that's gonna hold better, because remember that we want to open and close that flap. So it's gonna go like this, friends, right? And our adhesive needs to come on this border. Okay, so I will grab this flat double-sided adhesive and adhere it there and on this flap. Remember, if you want to adhere your windows flats, that's an option as well. Okay, now let's bring in the layout. And I am not measuring anything, friends. I'm just eyeballing everything, trying to have it on the same distance of my borders. So my windows are ready and adhered, and look how fun that looks already. Super, super fun. You can even put some acetate, like real windows, you know, your imagination is the limit here. And now let's move on to the cluster. It's a little intimidating, but oh no, before the cluster, I went ahead and cut the trees out because I would love for some trees to peek behind, but I have everything adhered. So let's do the next best thing that we can do, and it is to cut it and just try to tuck it behind everything. Okay, so something like this, you know, if more trees were coming from behind. I think that's cool. So let's adhere this. Okay, now friends, I have my first cluster, which is just a chipboard piece and 2 ephemeras that I adhered one on top of the other. I'm gonna have that there. And how I like doing this is just adding foam adhesive on the side that's gonna open. That way we can move this up and have it open, okay? So let's put some adhesive, some foam adhesive here, like an L. And I'm gonna bring in I have a tiny bit here of 2mm foam adhesive. So let's try this. I need to clean up those scissors because they are getting super sticky. Friends, I use a lot of foam adhesive, so that's the thing. Okay, I think that's gonna work good. We can add a little bit more there. I think that's gonna work. Before adhering, let's tuck in the other embellishments. And I've created 2 little clusters here with the ephemeras, and I think I want to tuck them down here, just like if they were coming from behind the main cluster. That way when we open the window, these will stay flat down there. So let's pretend we open this and these will stay down here. Okay, something like that. So let's adhere this piece. Let's commit to it. It's the kind of hard part, but we can do it. If you could see my desk, friends, it looks like an explosion of fall embellishments, fall colors. I even have a little candle that's taking me to that fall season because we are entering summer, friends, here. There we go. You see, friends? Now you don't see anything. And we can take that adhesive. I have a little adhesive that I can clean later, but we can pick it up and have it open. I was also thinking of adding my title, Cozy Days, just on top of this cluster. And I really like that this helps us even hold the entire piece. So don't be afraid to layer those up. And now let's tuck our pieces behind this. And actually, friends, we're entering spring, not summer. I got confused there. But yes, we will soon be in full summer mode because it's so hot here. So a little fall scrapbooking comes really, really nice right now. And don't forget to curl those leaves up, like pinching them a little and giving them some texture. I wish I had one more floral piece of these, but I've used almost all my leaves and floral pieces on another layout. But if you have it, go ahead and use it, because it will look great to have two of the same size. I don't know if I want it coming like the pumpkin like this or just straight. I think I'm gonna mimic this one that's looking a little down, and I'm gonna have this one like this. And there we go, friends. So exciting. I think I'm gonna just add my journaling here on some printed strips. And yeah, there it is. We have our windows that open, our photo peeks from behind the windows, and now we can just finish with some little ephemera, little chipboard pieces, like little confettis, and we will be done. And now, friends, I am going to finish my layout, sprinkling some of these maybe hearts or florals. I have to add my journaling down below, and yeah, we will be done. Let me know what you think about this layout. Let me know if it's something you are willing to try. You know, I hope you're inspired to try something new. I know it like refreshes up your scrapbooking a little when you're always used to doing the same things. So I hope you give it a try. I will make sure I leave some still shots at the end so you see my layout with journaling and all the little confetti pieces. So here it is. Don't forget to try that technique of looking through your collections and seeing what inspires you to create something totally unique and different. And until the next time, friends, come back to see more of my videos. Don't forget to comment, to subscribe, and to leave any questions or comments down below. I love reading them and answering you back. Until the next time, friends, this was Gloria Parra for Simple Stories. Bye-bye.